What's good? It's your boy Trouble T Roy. But hit don't get hit boxing talk. Back with another one. And it goes. Just want to recap on a couple of fights. And shout out to Gaby Fundora. I didn't get to watch her fight. Unfortunately, I was asleep. I didn't wake up until going into the fifth round of Foster versus Conceicao. I think that's how you say his name. I just call him Robson. But anyways, yeah, I woke up about the fifth round of that. Yeah, I ain't got much to say about it. I'm happy that he was able to, get his revenge on the first fight, which he lost, I believe, in a split decision against Robson. No, I'm happy that he got that back. I personally don't need to see a third fight because I kind of thought that Foster won both fights in the first place. Yeah, they're very close, very close. And I mean, really, the only thing I have to say about Foster in the future is I really just never. I feel like this is how he kind of lost the last fight, in the judges' eyes, because he waits till last minute to start opening up, which I never really understood because I feel like he was talented against Robson, Conceicao. I think he had enough talent to showcase against him by opening up more. I believe he could have opened up more and been successful in both fights. But for some reason, Foster doesn't have like a next gear. At least he doesn't show it until he's barely edging a fight, or he might be behind on the fight. He decides to open up in the last 3 rounds of the fight, the championship rounds, and it's like, okay, but that's playing with fire right there. You know what I'm saying? I just wish Foster, as great of a fighter I think he is, skillful, great ring IQ, pretty good defense for the most part. I just think he needs to open up more. He had a I forget what round it was. It may have been like the 8th or the 9th, I believe, where he connected a good shot on Foster. I believe it was a hook, I believe, but I can't remember if it was which side, left or right hand. But I believe he connected with a really good hook and kind of staggered, had Robson, kind of stunned. And Foster didn't really go in for, the attack. Like, he didn't go in for the kill for some reason. Yeah, I've noticed that about Foster. He'll land some good shots at certain times, and then he doesn't capitalize on it. I'll never understand that. I hope that's something that they work on with him in the future, because I'm feeling like competition is only going to get greater from there. That's something that he's going to have to put into his game plan. Open up more. I've seen so many opportunities where it's just he's being a defensive fighter, protecting himself, but he's also in good position to throw certain shots. Even you just throwing, ain't nobody saying you got to land anything, but don't be stingy. Don't sit back on everything. Don't let your hands go a little more often. Maybe fights might end a lot sooner. Because when he cracks. It's just he don't crack enough. So that's my opinion about Foster, but congratulations to him for, getting his revenge on his loss. Like I said, a lot of people thought it was a robbery. I do agree. So, and this fight was really close too, but I did have Foster winning, even though I only started watching for the 5th round. Still had him winning. Great job, in my opinion. Solid fighter. and Foster, for sure. And yeah, man, that was a good fight. It was a good fight for what I got to see. I'm going to go back and watch it again. I definitely want to go back and watch it again and see what else I could pull from that fight. Great fight, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Gaby Fundora. I did not get to see her fight, but she is the youngest undisputed champion, I don't know, in history or in the 4 belt era, I believe. Congratulations to her. I definitely want to go back and watch that fight because I heard it was probably the best fight on that card, from what it sounds like. So yeah, definitely gonna go back and watch that. I was, for the time I started watching her, I thought she was really good. She's better than her brother, that's for sure. But that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that maybe in another video. Well, lastly, I wanted to get into the Floyd Kid Austin Schofield versus, who is it? Renee Tellez Giron, or Giron. I'll just say Giron because I don't have no accent. I can't speak Spanish. But anyways, great fight. I think, like most of us, we thought things would be a lot easier for Floyd in this fight, and it was actually the exact opposite. Not saying he wasn't convincingly winning the fight through all 12 rounds, but my problem with Schofield right now is it seems like he's just looking for big shots and big shots only. He's not really setting anything up. He doesn't set things up very well, in my opinion. He kind of throws himself into chaos rather than boxing. I feel like I wish he would box more. That way he could set up those big shots. Because I don't think he lacks any power. He's a young dude. He's like 22 or something like that. Still young, still developing strength and manpower. But he already has a lot where he's at right now. Good size for the division, and I could see him definitely growing. He's going to grow out of lightweight sooner or later. I think we all could see that. But yeah, my problem is he doesn't set things up. Like, he doesn't really. He just goes forward, and it's not a good look because he's going to come into somebody that's like what he ran into yesterday. People are going to start timing him. Old boy was able to time him. Renee was able to time him. That's why Renee was able to drop him in I think the 4th or the 5th round. Dropped him and called him clean too. It wasn't an accident. It looked like a slip in like that. No, he called him in the middle of the exchange, and that's because, in my opinion, Floyd was just being he was fighting reckless yesterday, and even after that knockdown, he seemed to get even more reckless. He wants to go toe to toe. I understand what he's trying to do. He says he's trying to be entertaining, and yada yada yada. He trying to get the fans' attention, things like that. You're like, that's cool, but at the same time, I'm looking at it like this. If you can't knock him down or stop him, and he's still fighting back every time you hit him, but you're winning, sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? Let me go ahead and back off. And not back off, but let me slow down my pace. Let me kind of box more rather than try to slug and pressure. Let me box more because this dude seems to be catching me as well as I'm catching him. He ain't catching me as much or as clean, but he is putting himself in a position to where it might take that one shot, as we saw, that one shot that'll put me down. You know what I'm saying? Renee showed to be a tough guy. I didn't know much about him, but I heard he was a pretty good fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he proved that he could get down. You know what I'm saying? I think he actually, raised up his own stock in that fight, being able to go 12 with Floyd Schofield. I think people will be looking for him, kind of like the way people started looking for Pitbull Cruz after Tank beat him. People saw Pitbull was giving Tank the work. Me personally, I think Giron did better than Pitbull as far as in the matter of landing punches, in my opinion. I think it was an interesting matchup between the two. Both pretty much seemed like both pretty much pressure guys, but I think Schofield obviously was able to put the more pressure onto Giron, you know, but at the same time, you know, you could get caught. The people who put on pressure normally are the ones that get caught more so than anything else. That's how we see some of the greatest knockouts of all time, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty simple for me. Schofield needs to learn how to box a little more and stop trying to rush his opponents with power punches. Like, you know, we know you want the knockout, but you gotta start setting up the knockout, because the better the competition gets in his career, the harder it's gonna be for him to just go in there, you know, throw a few punches here and there, all power punches, and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? It's just that that's not how boxing works. There's always going to be that one person. For a pressure fighter, there's always that one person that could break that pressure, that could take down that pressure, you know, by being a better boxer, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good fight, though. I mean, I didn't really like what Oscar said at the end of the fight, giving him a C- grade in his performance. I don't think he was that bad. I think he was just too anxious for a knockout, and normally that's what happens eventually to people who always want to be a knockout artist. They eventually meet their match and be the ones to come out at the bottom. It just happens. That's a part of boxing. You know, you got to know how to adjust to boxing and fighting. It's a difference between boxing and just getting there for a fight, a dog fight. A dog fight is not always what you want to do against every opponent. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that. You know, it's cool. It's cool if you could do it, but how many guys that go in every fight for a dog fight come out successful every time, going up in the ranks at that? That's not very often. So, yeah, he has to learn how to set up those powerful shots. The power ain't going nowhere. He's going to get stronger. The thing is, set the shots up. Set them up, you know. Make them think you're going this way. Make them think you're going to throw this, because, you know, you set him up. Yeah, he keep going to the body, to the point he's dropping his hands, and then you come over with a, you know, overhand right hook over the top, blah. Now that boy laying flat on the floor. You know, shit like that. The shit really works. We've seen it. You know. And my only concern about yesterday's fight, you know, people was comparing him to compare Floyd Schofield to Sean Porter, and that's just bull. Sean Porter, yes, pressure fighter as well, but Sean Porter had like a reason for his madness. His pressure fighting style was really more of a, I'm going to throw everything at you until, you know, I catch you. Sean Porter wasn't a knockout artist, for one, but he was a guy that he stays in your face. That was the madness to his game plan. Stay in your face and overwhelm you. That's Sean Porter to the T. I'm going to stay in your face. I'm going to overwhelm you as much as I can. I'm going to try to overpower you. If I get close to you and I'm going to grapple with you. I'm going to try to push you against the ropes. I'm going to, you know, put my braids in your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna swing as wild as I can here and there. That's Sean Porter. That's the madness to his genius. You know what I'm saying? He is just different. That's why he was a 2-time champion in the welterweight division. He didn't get there just by just wildly just throwing it. Yes, it was wild shit, but it was a, you know, it was for a reason, and it worked a lot of times. Shout out to Sean Porter. But Schofield, he's a young man. He has a lot of developing to do. Being more, he needs to mature as a fighter, which comes with, knowing the ring IQ, you know what I'm saying? Setting up shots, sometimes knowing when to turn it up and when to keep it at a level, don't always go high gear all the time. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself an opportunity to create, situations that are positive in your, positive for you, not to your opponent. If you're just giving yourself away with I'm gonna just throw all of my power shots until I hit you, you're giving them, a situation that they want if they know how to really box. You know what I'm saying? If they're smart, if they're thinking boxers. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know what he's trying to do, so I'm going to, I'm going to let him try, and then I'm going to catch him with this because he keeps on trying to throw the same shot type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with that. It's a difference, But, yeah, man. Schofield, one thing that made me real uncomfortable is when he turned around after getting hit in the back of the head. It's such a weird two-way thing because people are, talking about, man, you turn around, get back in the fight, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm looking at it like, yeah, I feel that way, but at the same time, where's the referee at? The man was constantly, that's one thing Giron was doing, was constantly kind of overshooting to the point he was hitting the back of Schofield's head. But at the same time with that, two things was wrong with that. The referee waited till I don't know how long before he finally warned Giron about that. And two, you can't be turning your back to your opponent at any time. You shouldn't turn your back or put yourself into a position where you're not even in the fight. You're turning yourself in a position, turning around to where your back is to your opponent, or you're ducking down a certain way to where your opponent comes over with a shot. They're going to hit you in the back of the head. I don't understand why fighters do stuff like that when it comes to defense. You can't put yourself in a position where that fighter's trying to take you out regardless, however he can. So when he throw a shot, he's not saying, oh, I have to land this on his cheek. I had to land this on his chin. I had to land this on his forehead, whatever. He's throwing because he's just trying to hit you. He can't control once that motherfucker hits full speed. You don't know where it's gonna land if you're ducking your head down and leaving the back of your head right there open for him to hit. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like it's going three different ways. Schofield's deep, horrible plan to avoid punches, which kept getting him hit in the back of the head. Renee throwing wild. That's, throwing wildly. I don't really put too much on Renee, but the referee at the same time, he let that happen for a lot longer than it should have. So it was those things too. But I mean, all in all, man, Schofield got the clear win. He was winning the fight, even with the mistakes. That's why I didn't understand what Oscar De La Hoya was talking about.
Your thoughts on that performance?
I have to. I mean, I was an ex-fighter myself, so I give him like a C-. The reason why, because, there were things that he can do that are better, but that's the reason why we have the best matchmakers in the world, because we knew that Floyd was going to get tested.
It was like, that's kind of stupid. That was kind of dumb comments he was making after a fight. I would have gave Schofield, me personally, B+. I give him a B+. He finally got in there with a fighter that was game. That's a B+ in my opinion, because he like I said, he still won the fight. There's no doubt that he won the fight. There's only a couple of rounds that I could say that I said, okay, Renee got that. I don't even know if I ever said that the whole fight. I just thought, other than, okay, the round he got knocked down in, that he knocked Schofield down in, of course, maybe one or two other rounds I could say he got the better of Schofield, but never seen it was still pretty much a shutout in my opinion, even with the knockdown. You know, the only thing I was just scared that Schofield was gonna get knocked down again the way he was fighting, because he's going toe to toe with this dude, trying to put everything into it. Like, come on, man, you getting reckless out there, you know. But man, it's all good though. Great fight, good job for Schofield. It's definitely something for him and his father to that they need to come to some kind of thing and fix that, fix the defense, fix the wild just throwing whatever. I can't remember what his dad was trying to tell him because I didn't really listen much. Maybe his dad was trying. I think his dad was at one point trying to tell him like, "Yo, you know, set the shit up." You know what I'm saying? Don't just go in there just swing wild. But you know, Floyd Schofield being a young dude coming up in the sport, you know, kind of hothead shit. I know what I'm doing, Dad. Type shit. It's like, okay, go out there and fight out the hard way then. You know what I'm saying? But no, all in all, good fights for what I did get to see. Good year of boxing, almost over. 2 months left. You know? So, yeah. Looking for some more good fights before the year over, you know? So go ahead, leave a like. Go ahead, comment, subscribe, you know, share, all that good shit. It's your boy, Trouble T. Roy. Hit, don't get hit, boxing talk. All right, y'all. Peace.